Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive shift in perspective. It's all about moving away from the microscopic details and zooming out to macroscopic patterns. This is literally the secret to transforming how you design your life. We're going to be pulling some incredible insights from Graham Farr's reflections on the book, The Power of Permaculture Principles, and as you'll see, permaculture isn't just about gardening. It's practically an architecture for living. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The Leaf Level Trap.
Okay, I want you to imagine you are locked in an extreme close-up. All you can see is a single, intricately veined leaf in the middle of a massive forest. Or if we think about the digital world, imagine staring at just one single, highly complex line of code. You know that feeling, right? When you're just hyper-focused on that one individual bill to pay, or that urgent email, or the immediate screaming to-do list of the hour. In that moment, the detail is literally all there is. It's totally overwhelming, isn't it? But what happens when we finally pull the camera back? Suddenly, we see the complete tree. We see the full script of code. You see, when we're trapped at that initial leaf level, we completely miss the branching pattern of our overall habits. We get so busy just blindly reacting to the leaves, we don't even realize they're all connected to the exact same branch. Now, let's pull back even further. Now we're looking at a dense forest, or a sprawling digital network, and it hits you. You literally couldn't see the wood for the trees. This, by the way, was exactly Graham back in 2012. He was totally ignoring the seasonal rhythms of his own health simply because he was so obsessed with the daily grind. When you lack this bigger perspective, you end up just endlessly fighting individual fires, completely missing the overall climate that's actually causing them.
So let's zoom all the way out to a drone's eye view of a massive watershed. This is where we finally see it. The big pattern. When you rise above the endless details to see the actual flow of the landscape, you discover this incredible secret. If you get the pattern right, the details literally take care of themselves. You absolutely don't have to micromanage every single drop of water, so long as you understand the underlying shape of the river.
Moving on to Section 2, Zooming Out to Patterns.
Let's look at the stark contrast between two entirely different ways of living. Over on the left, we've got Graham in 2012. This is reactive Graham. He's totally overwhelmed by daily minutia, basically drowning in sticky notes. But then, look on the right. This is Graham in 2026, operating as a true designer. He uses a master map and standardized checklists, stuff he calls pattern languages, to seamlessly manage his digital services without ever losing sight of his ultimate goals. Talk about a glow-up, right?
Which brings us to Section 3, the designer's secret.
So how do we actually make that jump from reactive chaos to proactive design? Well, it all comes down to one absolutely crucial realization. Nature works in patterns, not grids. Think about it. Whether it's a physical garden or the digital language of the web, trying to impose these rigid, artificial grids just leads to immense stress and, inevitably, failure. But aligning with natural repeating patterns, that yields lasting abundance.
And this introduces us to the master pattern. Basically, it's a system of functional relationships that repeat themselves. Before writing a single line of code or mapping out a site, you have to look for these repeating patterns. Just like how the natural flow of water organically dictates exactly where vegetation is going to grow, a well-designed pattern dictates where your daily details naturally land. The whole secret is that you must design the system first.
Section 4. The Spiral of Success.
Okay, picture a digital overlay mapping out your life. You've got elements naturally spiraling outward from a central core, almost like a branching stream or the way a fern unfurls. Now, patterns can definitely be complex, but they really shouldn't be overwhelming. By establishing that core spiral first, all those little daily details we talked about, they finally have a logical, natural place to land.
So how do you design that spiral? You start with your big pattern. You want to anchor yourself to your core priorities, things like your health, your community, and your integrated services. Once you have that anchor, your daily tasks will naturally spiral out in a highly organized way. You finally stop reacting blindly to tasks and start designing your systems. And the best part? You achieve maximum effect with the absolute least amount of stressful change.
Section 5, the 3-2-1 Action Plan. To make all of this incredibly practical, we're going to break down Graham's 3-2-1 action plan. We're starting with the number 3, which stands for the 3 components of the ethical filter, also known as our pattern check.
Basically, these are permaculture ethics applied directly to our daily lives. First up, earth care.
This means designing with the land's natural flow, making sure we don't force a rigid grid over it. Second is people care. This is where you identify the repeating behaviors that trigger your stress, and you actually change the pattern itself. You don't just try to blindly cross off the stressful task. And third, fair shares. This is all about generously sharing the checklists and frameworks of your success with your community.
Next up, we move down the countdown to the number 2. These are the 2 vital areas for principle application. It's about actually putting those patterns to work right in your immediate environment. So instead of just arbitrarily trying to change a bad habit, look at your zones. In Zone 0, which is your internal habits, you want to map the interconnected systems supporting your daily rhythms, like your sleep or your diet. You're not just, trying to sleep better, you're actually designing systems that naturally result in better sleep. And then in Zone 1, your professional life, your goal is to identify the master pattern. That's the single core value that unites everything you do across your services.
And finally, we land on the number 1. This is the single most important practical step you can literally take today for an immediate yield. And that step is simply this: step outside. Seriously, go find just one visual pattern in nature. It could be the spiral of a snail shell, the ripples in a pond, or just the branching of the tree above you. By really observing how that natural shape functions so effortlessly, you gain what we call the yield of observation. You're basically training your brain to see the big picture. You start becoming the author of a life where every single detail is a purposeful step toward abundance.
We really no longer need to be lost in the chaos of that leaf level. So the only question left to ask yourself as we wrap up this explainer is this: are you ready to see the big picture? Will you keep chasing endless sticky notes and reacting to the grid? Or will you step back, observe the natural flow, and finally start designing your life? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.